Everybody. Today, our group is going to talk about living alone and other life skills. And our group members are Yishan Chen, Yihong Qiu, Yixu, and Jian Xu. We divided our topic into several parts. We would like to talk about the pros and cons of living alone, and we will talk about some life skills, for example, time management, financial management, and also other life skills. Here are some benefits and drawbacks of living alone. Firstly, you will have absolute independence. Living alone grants you freedom. You will enjoy quiet and peaceful moments after a long day instead of being bothered with your roommate's noise or having to consider their feelings. Without considering others' desires, you will feel more relaxing. Although living alone ensures your independence, you will feel lonely much or less at some point. Of course, you can invite your friends over. You will have a great time. But what about the rest of the evening after they left? Friends' visits are different from someone with you 24/7. And firstly, you will have a comfortable feeling. You will never feel 100% ease if you share your room with others. You only need to clean your own mess. This can really increase your happiness index, especially if you are that kind of person who has zero tolerance of a little bit unorganized stuff or a little bit dirty on the floor. Trust me on this. It will be much easier and you will have less complaints. But there's no one to help you deal with some problems. It is all you when you live alone. No one supports you when talking with household works. You're like single mom, dad. Take care of your baby room. It is tiring and annoying. Living with others will ease the burden so much than fighting on your own. And third, there will be zero allocation. It is pretty obvious, right? You don't even have a roommate. How could you possibly feel awkward fighting with yourself? I thought that if you live alone, you're never pissed off and no one ever says anything about your habit. You will never change your routine against your will by just comforting others. However, you will have financial burden. Financial independence can sometimes turn into financial burden. Splitting bills will do a huge favor whenever you experience financial problems. And finally, although you will have and finally, you'll enjoy financial independence. Financial issues can destroy relationships with your roommates, but you only deal with your own bill if you live alone. In addition, although you are splitting bills, living together increases expenditures. However, you can minimize your living costs if necessary when you live alone. But you will feel isolation if you live alone. You may feel isolated and forgotten when you live alone, especially when you are experiencing some difficulties and there is no one beside you that you can talk to. Having a roommate can really help a lot. At least there is someone who can comfort you when you're depressed. If necessary, she can also drag you from some stupid decisions.
What I would like to talk about are living skills which could be helpful for freshmen, especially international students. As international students, we can't get American bank card and cell phone number before we finish our flight as usual. Well, they are both significant, which influence paying tuition, transferring account, daily consumption, and communication. So, open an account and get a number as quickly as possible. There are around 3 banks on the high street across our school. Because it is necessary to have SSN first before applying for a credit card, I recommend Chase debit card. It has college account and saving account. The former is used for small amounts of payment in daily life, and the latter is used for great consumptions like school tuition. Money cannot be taken out freely from saving account, so it is safer to place money here with a low interest. You can also transfer money to anyone else with Chase account by Chase Quick Pay from its app. One thing may be welcomed by Chinese students is that there is a clerk which can speak Chinese in the branch nearby. Two of the biggest mobile operators, TNT and T-Mobile, are opposite on the high street. Both are good enough, while the difference are obvious. TNT has a higher price, but its signal is stable and accessible in building sometimes. T-Mobile's price is cheaper, but its signal is well outside only. It seems the former is more reliable, while Wi-Fi is available all around the campus. Both of them have family plan at a lower price for each. Usually a group of 5 people is the best choice to open a family plan. You can choose one based on your own requirements. Eating is the most important part in life for me. There are 3 ways to feed yourself fully. The first one is having a dining plan. The second is cooking by yourselves. The third is going to the restaurant. Because I'm not rich enough to eat the restaurant usually, I prefer to produce the other ways in detail. The only things I could tell you about the restaurant is that there are many Russian restaurants nearby, and Mexican food is worth to try. After finishing your meal, remember to give the tips. Actually, you can get any information from the website on the screen, but I want to tell you that there are only 3 traditions on campus. If you find all of them are far away from your dorm and classrooms, it is not wise to choose plan with many visits. Most libraries have a cafe inside, so getting food from C-stores is a better choice for people who like to study in library. In addition, the amount of visit exchange are $8 purchase in retails and $5 at C-stores. For students who want food having home taste, it is worthwhile to spend time cooking if time is enough, and it is much cheaper than eating outside. There are some essential tools, including electric cooker, cutting board, knife, pot, and slice. For Chinese, a cover is really useful because many Chinese dishes need it. There are 2 supermarkets I appreciated to get food material, Kroger and Lucky's, which are all located on the high street. Kroger is a chain supermarket which is bigger with diverse things, not only food. Don't forget to apply for a member card to get lower prices. Lucky's has more fresh organic food and unique snacks. There are several lines of black products, from coffee bean to yeast. Usually, if I want to buy meat, I will go there. Be careful, don't forget to use range hood to avoid fire alert. If the alarm resists for a long time, firemen will just come. Most freshmen are living in dormitory. Prepare for living with any kind of person because it is not easy to change the room and the form investigating your preference is not so useful. Making roommate rules is necessary, which can solve many problems when all of you are controlled by anger. Communicate with your roommate frequently and be familiar with the range around your dorm. After finishing your second year, you have to live off campus. House in America is always old, with basement, garage, and garden. So the individual space is large, and you can set whatever you like. The rent of house is cheap, but you need to open accounts for any kind of fees, like water and electricity. Apartment is much easier to handle because you can pay money directly and the many fees are just included in rent. And the management is stricter than house. Well, in this case, you need to spend more money. Select what you prefer. Remember to search for a house or apartment at least a month before you move in. Look around the place in person rather than evaluate it only by the information agency provided. Even pictures don't display the real condition of the room. Having mental preparation that all furniture need to be assembled by yourself. Try to be patient if you get a bag of components. Measure the room before buying furniture and make sure that everything is okay to put in your room at the same time. There are 4 ways helping you travel around, not only campus, but also the whole Columbus. The first one is COTA, the city bus system of Columbus. Remember to bring your bus ID or you'll have to pay $2. Put yellow line in the bus to make a stop request before you want to get off. The second one is CAPS, the school bus. This kind of bus stop every time without requesting money and ID card. One special thing is that they are all in loop line, so if you miss your stop, just sit in the bus you take and get off when it arrives again. The third one is Uber, an app. It is easy to use by bundling your car to pay. If you are willing to talk with drivers, it would be a good way to improve speaking English, but it is much more expensive than bus. The last one is Google Map, which is still a map. It is useful for workers and drivers, even passengers waiting for COTA. Well, the information about cabs is not accessible. This is all I would like to share. Let's welcome Yishan Chen to discuss about time management.
Hi, my name is Yishan Chen, and today I'm going to talk about the time management. From high school to college, our lives have changed. We live alone and get more free time, so we need to manage our time in order to make our life become better. Here's some tips for you. First, make a plan. A good plan means a good self-control. If you follow your plan step by step, you will not waste time. Second, work first. I would recommend you to finish your work before entertainment, because sometimes I watch a performance during the break and I just can't stop. This will extend my working time, so I need to stay up late, which will affect my another day. Third, end the day on the weekends. Choose one night on Friday or Saturday to attend parties or group games to relax your brain. Finally, sleep well and decrease the time of staying up late. I would recommend you to choose one day to have a good sleep that you can wake naturally. This can give enough time for your body to relax, so it can support more energy to you for next week. If you do not get enough time to sleep, your brain can be down and cannot work well. Meanwhile, long time staying up late will decrease the memory. Here's some advice for you to make a good plan. Make a rough plan for this whole semester, which contains a goal that you want to realize during this semester. Then, make a plan for each subject about what you want to learn from this subject. Hence, manage your time for each week. And for each day, make a plan for this day, instead of writing on paper and sticking on your wall. It can be a thought that you are thinking when you woke up. For working day plan, you do not need to plan for every hour. It is a rough plan that what you need to do at what time, which do not need to be a really specific plan.
Hi, I'm going to tell you my methods of finance management in life. I left my hometown from my parents for a new environment when I was 12. Therefore, my experience of finance management might help international students who just involved in the US life manage their cash. When I was living alone, my parents will give me a certain amount of money, which can solve normal financial problems. When I was living alone, my parents will give me a certain amount of money, which can solve normal financial problems from their perspective. It is not really enough for me if I want to hang out with friends on my weekend. What if I really want to purchase a backpack when it is on sale and when there is only little cash in my pocket? And also, I cannot enjoy a school trip if I have no money. All of these sounds cute excuses for parents. At that point, you might start to treasure your monthly salary. The following tips will be my method to avoid those situations. It's important to learn how to spend money. As a great example of independence, my experience is precious. The monthly wage given by my parents was even less than $100 when I was in an accommodation school. It seems not applicable when we are college students, but it can be used as a reference. Besides free laundry and free meal, we had free gym and free cafeteria. However, it's still hard for me when I was being out of school. On the weekends, I usually got up late for missing the breakfast. This is not what you need to learn. For the lunch and dinner, I chose to cook by myself for most of the time. Due to the bad taste, I decided to go to the restaurant once a week at least. I won't spend more than $10, which could buy a really good meal in my country. After I bought all the necessities, it was not surprising that I still own more than 30 boxes for that month. I can save it for further function or spend it on something I like. Saving money is probably not what I like to do the most. I can save tremendous amount of money that I can prepare for emergency situation like getting a cold or lending money to someone which I do not want to bother my parents. Besides, teenagers are easily attracted by luxuries. I'm one of them. I never expect my parents to buy me anything expensive. Therefore, I have to economize my necessity and I will not spend my money on anything if I desire for something else. Create a bank account. It is not the only way, but one of the best ways to help me save my money and record everything that I've spent on. Making it harder to pay for something might prevent unnecessary payments. After a few months, I will find out I'm actually rich. And as what I mentioned, take records of all your purchases. If I get a certain amount of money monthly, I will try to make a financial planner to record each payment. It will help confine myself to spend on meaningless stuffs. It works really well. When I noticed I spent $100 on shoes and the total amount is over credit, I was in a deep despair for the rest of the month. I was about to create a Chase account next month and getting started to apply for a part-time job.
Here are some resources.